Welcome to Buddha Z Explains. What am I explaining today? I don't know. I'll explain something. Oh, maybe my poems are the explanation to reality, to my life for sure. I don't know. Hopefully you can, get something to use in your life out of this. Okay, here we go. We're going to read one poem. This is Origin of Suffering, Part 1. All right, just follow along with me. Do your best. I don't know, maybe I'll explain something at the end of this. But hopefully I can do it. Well, I know that's not true. My poems sometimes do need some elaboration. Okay, here we go. Origin of Suffering, Part 1. I thought that was clever to say, never do. Buddha didn't make religious rules, because Buddhism is for rational adults, not emotional fools. Rather than say, don't have sex with minors, he says it another way. To explain the, to explain the origins of suffering, he explains that suffering can be caused by what we do and say. Oh, wow, man, you get something to drink. But it reminds me of an Irish proverb. Many a times a man's mouth has broken his nose. I used to have that in Celtic in a thing that I used to carry in my bass case. Lost it. One of my gigs. I used to always carry that wherever I went. So, yeah, I haven't broken mine. Despite the fact I'm being sassy, my goal is not to get in a fight. Not to get in a fight. In fact, if you want to argue, I'll just say, you're right. You're right. You win. Okay, here we go. So he's talking about having sex with minors. This is Buddha talking to someone who asked him this question, or maybe he's explaining it in a lecture. Here we go. Oh, yeah. This one, yeah, you must have been explaining this to, but okay. This is okay. I'd love to share with you the original Buddha's writings, but okay, here we go. I'm just seeing them all in my mind right now. Then he elaborates on all kinds of sex. That's what I said. A lot of stuff going through my brain here. And how some should be avoided like a hex, because some flowers should not be plucked. So Buddha explains which flowers should not be, well, it starts with an F. The way Buddha condemns rape or abuse is by limiting the opportunities we have to choose. He said a person should not make love to anyone living with their parents. That's it. No matter how much you want or desire it, having sex with dependent children is best not thought of. Unfortunately, my ex-wife did not agree and had our daughter's lover move in with me. I was a ghost, so my rules wouldn't be interfering with sex my young son could see. Buddha was so 2,500 years ago smart, he said nothing but suffering would result from having sex with a doomed start, unless you belong to a perverted cult. Perhaps Buddha read the 10 Commandments. In Buddha's 4 rules, he covers every one. He mentioned that coveting your neighbor's wife will result in suffering that cannot be undone. Buddha just offers the choice. Do you want to live to suffer or rejoice? He explains a few things that never work. It's up to each disciple to be a Buddhist or a jerk. Buddhism has no rules, just a bunch of wise words for tools. If you'd like to live a happy life, he explains, you don't want a crappy wife. Although there are a wide variety of men, he explains there are 7 wives from which to be chosen. If you are aware of what you want and need, he explains how to pick a mate to do more than breed. I've written of Buddha's marital advice in my poem, I See a Ceiling. I don't mind explaining it twice, but I like that poem's tone and feeling. I told Buddha's story then, and I may have changed his order when I explained it then. Actually, really nice. Buddha also mentions lying as don't tell lies about other people. So, bearing false witness, a Buddhist shouldn't be trying, despite Buddhism not having a church or steeple. All the not supposed to exist altars and icons and temples above hell have been out of... Actually, I should put the word built. I like that. Have been built out of guilt or faith. Have been out of... So I say out of, but I guess I'm presuming that word built. Yeah, just improve that poem. Start the beginning of that paragraph here. Stanza. I don't know what you call them. I don't really ever talk about poetry. I used to do poetry readings all the time. All the... Here we go. Excuse my throat. Need to go get something to drink. All the not supposed to exist altars and icons and temples above hell have been built out of guilt or fame, erected to honor Buddha's words. They weren't intended to be a roach motel or to collect paying members and turds from birds. There's no Buddhist religion inside any shrine. There's no Buddhism in the forest. Buddhism requires people investing time, helping others to live and be their best. That's it. In other words, if you're not helping other people to improve, then you're not actually a Buddhist. See, this would be heaven if everybody was a Buddhist. Eventually, we'd all be perfect. There's nothing you can do for me. I'm totally perfect. Go help somebody else. Oh, they don't need any help either. Nobody needs any help. Everybody's just too happy. Okay. I don't know. That's hard to imagine, isn't it? Everybody just being too happy to need anything. I like that. I will strive to meditate on that if I remember that. A world where everyone is too happy to be any happier. I don't know, something like that. All right. Buddha Z getting out of here. Like I told you, the clapping didn't go through my brain, but did not stimulate any muscle response. All right, see you next time.
A verse, something to make life better, not worse. It's the basics of Buddhism. Buddha's first trick. It's the Four Noble Truths to make enlightenment quick. He figured out, sitting under a tree, that life will never be perfect. It includes some pain and misery. But that's alright, he said. Most of this pain is in your head. Don't give up if you're not dead. What you gotta do is understand that things don't always go as you plan. Toss them out. If they don't make you feel good, those expectations should be understood. Don't just put a bandage on your brain. Figure out the source of the pain. Seek the truth about you and your world. Decide how you fit. Seek that truthful pearl that brings lights to your eyes. Moves the clouds from your skies. Which brings us to truth number 2. Now that pain and suffering has become understood, you realize, you know, that everything must end. All suffering is temporary. You either die if it gets worse, or you improve and survive. So you're understood your suffering. You see the end to your pain. Ignorance will lead you astray, but what you've learned and what you know can visualize the end. So noble truth number 1 is accepting that life includes some pain. Noble truth 2 says it won't always rain. And noble truth number 3, we lead you to the cure. If it can stop the pain, be dropped. You know this for sure. So now you seek the first cure, the quickest or the best. Instead of just complaining, you are on a quest. Answers that you seek may lead to other knowledge. Seeking the truth in life is our greatest college. Learn from interaction, success, and mistakes. Number 1, you accept the truth. Life can be bad. Number 2, you see that what's bad has an end. Number 3, you decide how this end can be had. So number 4 is the truth of success and prevention. Live a life that's good. Be as smart as you can. Be a good person, a good wife, a good man. The life you lead is the path you walk and how you talk. Choices are the crossroads of the path around the rock. There's going to be boulders, obstacles in your way. Choose the 4 noble truths to brighten your day.